Hi everyone, and welcome to a new episode of Days Podcast along with a new video. I hope you guys have been enjoying the content I have been putting out so far. I am making sure that there are more videos as far as with Patreon, as far as with Spotify. But thank you guys all for subscribing, liking, viewing, listening, and watching. I truly appreciate it, and we will definitely be doing more over time. And tonight, whenever time you are watching, we are listening to. We are watching and listening and talking about Beyonce's self-titled Beyonce. So again, like I said with B-Day and like I said with I Am Sasha Fierce, I was meaning to do this album commentary for a good minute. I wanted to make sure I did it cohesively and for a good sense of the fact that it's been over a decade since this album came out, and it brings back a lot of memories that I may just talk about it's my podcast, okay? I could talk about me too. Okay, but as opposed to what we're talking about, yes, we are going to talk about Beyonce, self-titled Beyonce. So Beyonce is the self-titled fifth studio album by Beyonce. It is released on December 13th, 2013 through Parkwood Entertainment and Columbia Records. So this is where the shift came in. And what I mean by that is music, things of where, you're saying to yourself, digitally, where could I place this and do this? This is where everything just changed for the better, as far as where we have a more sense of Beyonce wholesomely, but also just all around when it comes to music, because a lot of times people was kind of just making albums and touring and doing certain things, and they wanted to be able to do it where they had enough recognition. And Beyonce was at a point from 4 where she was wanting that in a way where the focus is truly on my artistry, and the sense that I wanted my fans to know I am doing this when I choose to. I'm having that power, and I'm gonna make sure within Parkwood Entertainment it goes down, okay? And yes, let me just get Parkwood Entertainment is an American management production entertainment company and record label founded by Beyonce in 2010. And you know what? Maybe I may go sign up for that label. I might want to sing. You never know. You never know. Hey. But of course, a lot of people like doing things independently. I'm not gonna knock nobody. You do what you feel. As far as for anyone. But as far as with Beyonce's self-titled album, developed as a visual album, every song is accompanied by a non-linear short film that illustrates the musical concepts. Beyonce's desire to assert her full artistic freedom, like I said, served as inspiration for the album's dark, personal subject matter, which incorporated feminist themes of sex, monogamy, beauty standards, and relationship problems. So this was something that, and mind you, the cover only shows her name in pink with a black cover, like with a black background. So it's just, she wanted to make sure people were listening, watching, understanding where she was in her life now. I'm a mom. Okay? Mom ain't the word now. She got 3. Okay? So it's just, this was the time where people were understanding Beyonce is a woman. No, like a woman. Like, no. We're not going to say she's not a woman even when she was in Destiny's Child. But here, like, she's wanting us to really know. Like, I know I've been a woman for a while, and I'm always going to be a woman. But I'm a woman. And I don't want nobody misconstruing the fake things that are being said about me. Okay? I'm tired of people thinking that I wasn't pregnant. I'm tired of people thinking that I didn't try to do all of what I am doing still to this day. Like, this was the album to really let people know, like, don't fuck with me. Flawless? Come on, like, okay. Child, let's get into it. The album's initial recording began in New York City, where Beyoncé invited the world's best producers and songwriters to live with her in a mansion for a month. So she actually said, "Listen, we're gonna be in a mansion for a month, and we need to work. There's gonna be food. My daughter's here." And I'm going to need you guys here with me to work. And why not? I'm Beyonce. You know, like, so, you know, I need you guys here. I don't see why not. And so, mind you, recorded 2012 recorded 2012 to 2013. So even in the midst of the, I believe she was doing the Mrs. Carter. Yes, she was doing the Mrs. Carter show. So like I said, she was doing this album even in the midst of doing a tour. So we just got Renaissance tour just last year. I was there, okay? So mind you, and let me just make that clear. I was there. Wasn't, I was there as far as, you know, in the era and I know all the songs. Like, no, I was physically in the audience with B. I was there. And so even just being able to witness her in person, where she could be working at any given time. We got Cowboy Carter, but there could be something else coming. You never know. And why not? I'd want to see, and I'd want to listen, and I'd want to be able to hear everything that she would like to have on this new project that may come out. You never know. But I'm just making sure you guys see from the sense that this was a big deal, because no one was really starting to do this until after she possibly did, you know, and I'm seeing that now in this new era of time in 2024, where people are touring, but they also are making music at the same time. But at the time, you know, it wasn't always a thing. I think that people really just would tour and just wait till they were done touring to be like, all right, I'm gonna just, if those that were doing it, they didn't always do it to this impact, because it was like, no, album done, all of them you can watch, bye. It's like, whoa, wait a minute, wait a minute, and wait a minute, this is from 2008 to 2013, even though technically you want to consider 2009, but it's been 5 years. So people were screaming, because it's been 5 years since I Am, but then it's only been 2 years since 4. So it's like, wait a minute. You know, those two albums kind of just, you just, wait a minute. We're at the self-titled now with B. But yes, during extensive touring the following year, okay, the album changed as she conceived of creating a visual sense to its songs, and resumes recording sessions with electronic producer and rock musician Boots. Their collaboration led to more sonically experimental material, which combines contemporary R&B with electronic and soul music. Throughout this period, the album's songs and videos were composed in strict secrecy as Beyoncé devised an unexpected release. Okay? And don't mind the CSI New York. I watch whatever I want. Beyoncé was released on the iTunes store early in the day and without prior announcement or promotion. And I remember waking up that morning. I was like I was saying to myself, why am I going to sleep so, like, not even early, but I was just going to sleep and just, like, it just dawned me that something is happening tomorrow. You know, I felt it that Thursday night. I was like, something's happening tomorrow. I was 19 at the time, yeah. And yeah, that morning I bought the album. I did. I spent the I think it was $16.99, where I had the, yeah, in yes, a year after, well, a year in, where you're going into 2014, where the deluxe came out, the more, yeah, I got that too. Big S. And debuted at number 1 on the US Billboard 200, earning Beyoncé her 5th consecutive number 1 album on the chart. The album sold 617,000 copies in the US and 828,773 copies worldwide in its first 3 days of sales, becoming the fastest selling album in the history of the iTunes store up to that point. In the 19 days between the album's release and the end of 2013, Beyoncé sold 2.3 million copies worldwide, finishing the year as the 10th best-selling album globally, according to the IFPI. The album has sold over 5 million copies worldwide. The album was supported on 2 tours: the 2014 leg of the Mrs. Carter Show World Tour and the Jay-Z co-headlining On the Run tour. So she supported the album with her own tour as opposed to a tour with her husband, and they were back to back. And I wanted to go to both, and I couldn't. And I feel like I owed it to myself to be able to go to at least one Beyonce tour, you know. And I did it in a special way. I did it with family. Yes, Beyoncé received widespread acclaim from critics upon release, who praised its production, exploration of sexuality, vocal performance, as well as the album's surprise release strategy, which was subsequently replicated by many artists. Like I said, after she did this, artists were doing this left and right. They were like, oh my God, we can make money off this. Like, it was just... It was wild. And let me drink a water. Let me drink something real quick. Anyway, y'all, so like I said, in 2020, Beyoncé was ranked 81st in Rolling Stone's 500 Greatest Albums of All Time list. Beyoncé and its release is frequently credited with inventing the modern definition of the visual album, popularizing the surprise album release strategy, and provoking the International Federation of the Phonographic Industry to change the day of the week when music is released worldwide from Tuesday to Friday. So back in the day, music came out on Tuesday, and now it comes out on Friday. It is Saturday, so new music came out yesterday. Like, whole new music, like new albums, singles, whatever you feel, new music videos, like just new. Just Friday is just new everything for music in there. And it's not a bad thing, thanks to Beyonce. And yes, after this album was Lemonade, and we will talk about that, but we are talking about self-titled. She released XO December 16th, 2013. She released Drunken Love December 17th, 2013. Partition was released February 25th, 2014. And Pretty Hurts was released June 10th, 2014. So, yeah, like she wanted to do something new. You know, like she really was saying, like, I want something new. Like, why not? And I have a child now. So yeah, following the release of her 4th studio album, 2011, which we had talked about previously, You guys can check that out. It's in the earlier episodes. Beyonce gave birth to her first child, Blue Ivy, on June 7, 2012. Just 4 months after labor, she pursued a 3-night residency at Revel Atlantic City's Ovation Hall entitled Revel Presents Beyoncé Live. The choice to hold concerts so soon was purposeful. Beyonce intended to demonstrate to mothers that they need to not halt their careers despite having children. Most of the summer following the residency was spent in the Hamptons, New York, where she took time out from the public to spend time with her daughter and to begin sessions for her next album. So like I said, she took time off. She said, listen, I'm gonna give y'all a couple dates and I'm gonna go to work. And she did. She resumed work in early 2013, performing the Star Spangled Banner at President Barack Obama's second inauguration and headlining the Super Bowl halftime show, where there were expectations she would debut new music, although these rumors never materialized. She also released a self-directed autobiographical documentary, in February, entitled Life is But a Dream. So she came out with a whole movie, and y'all slept on it, because it really is a whole movie. Like, she gave us a whole movie, letting us know, like, from her past up until, you know, where she was as far as being a mom and being able to sit back and just take time in, you know. And little did we know, she already was showing us the midst of where she's kind of taking a break to say, hey, you know, I'm talking, but I'm working. Okay, we just didn't know. And at the time, that was the mystery of it, where it's just like, she could talk with us, but she could be working too, you know. In March 2013, a 2-part hip-hop track entitled Bow Down, I've Been On was released onto Beyonce's SoundCloud account. Okay, new song. Wait a minute, we got a new song? What's going on? Bow Down, produced by Hit Boy, was written after Beyonce woke up one morning with a chant stuck in her head, feeling angry and defensive. This was melded with a Timbaland-produced second half, I've Been On, that makes prominent use of a pitched, distorted vocal as a homage to the Houston hip-hop scene. Yeah. People felt like it was odd, that it was loud, abrasive, while other people felt it was assertive and believed it served as an introduction of what was to come. And yes, it was. Didn't I say that? Beyonce said this was the album that from here on out, you will get all types of honesty and realness that I was commercially saying already, but I will just be able to just naturally do because I'm Beyonce, okay? Because, you know, putting in so much work, you just say, you know what? I know who I am. And this was why she said, I'm self-titled, I'm Beyonce. Yes. But Beyonce clarified after the album's release, where elements of Bow Down appear on the track Flawless, that the song and its refrain were intended as a statement of female empowerment. Yeah. It would, you know, not everybody was ready for that moment. And further confusion was created when portions of other tracks, Grown Woman and Standing on the Sun, were used for television advertising campaigns, with a similar lack of explanation as to their purpose. Yeah, we was trying to understand that there's new songs just floating around throughout 2013. What's going? Listen, I was here for it. I was like, yes, like, what's going on? Like, she's... And that was her letting us know her power, because she surprised us with the album by the end of the year. So imagine just someone just putting songs in commercials. And I'm not saying someone, not just anybody, Beyonce. Imagine Beyonce putting songs on commercials, advertisements, and you're just like, wait a minute. Where's the album? And throughout the whole year, she's touring. She cuts her hair. You're just like, she's doing everything, but and doesn't that sound similar? Isn't she doing that now? But she did give us an album. But still, she could still do that at any given time. Where it's just like, all right, here's this, here's that. But she does it with album songs and releases, so it's even more commendable, as it already was. But yes, those songs were just here, and we're just like, well, is it, will they be like on iTunes? Like, people were just kind of taking the songs and just kind of putting it wherever they wanted, if they could soundbite it or make it out of an MP3. Through much of 2013, the media reported that the album was delayed or scrapped, with one story alleging Beyoncé had scrapped 50 songs in favor of starting again. In July 2013, a spokesperson for Beyoncé denied speculation that her album had been delayed, stating that there was no official release date to begin with, and that when a date is set, it would be announced via an official press release. There was considerable confusion among music journalists and fans as Beyoncé engaged in extensive touring while not discussing the album or its release. So they were worried. And I was worried a little bit, just a little. I was like, wait a minute, she's cutting her hair, she's dancing more. I know she just had Blue, but what's going on? Like, what is she doing? And little do we know, like, she's in Rio and already previewing these songs that, I was there. I'm a fan. I was there. She was in different places over time, and it says it. I'm gonna just, from watching just each visual and captivating each song in different places, it was very magical, because you felt like you was watching the whole world with her and living it with her and doing everything with her in that moment and in that time. There are very much descriptions on artwork, release, and promotion, as opposed to, much like her previous albums, the record is feminist, with greater exploration of gender issues and conflated with an unwavering look at Black female sexual agency. So again, she wanted to make sure that her sense of a woman wasn't just from all women, but Black women, in a sense that she is a Black woman herself, and at the time when I Am came out, I Am Sasha Fierce, there may have been people who may have probably felt like, she's wanting to go pop. Is she gonna still do R&B? Like, is she still gonna be, her? And it's like, she never stopped being her. She just wanted to just explore and do different things. And at the time, you go with the times, where you release songs that are for a time that later can be appreciated. And, every artist does that, literally. But yes, let's get into the track list. So, the album did really well. People were received widespread acclaim from music critics. They really, critics generally commended the album as thematically and musically bold, as well as emphasizing its visual aspect and surprise release. Many said it was her magnum opus. Masterpiece. Yes. In modern use, is a creation that has been given much critical praise, especially one that is considered the greatest work of a person's career, or a work of outstanding creativity, skill, profundity, and workmanship. So, like I said, this was, when you look at, we're on album 5 here, and we will talk about Lemonade, like I said, but when you look at Dangerously in Love, 4, right? Because 4 is before this. When you looked at that run, and you say to yourself, out of those 4 albums, they're all Beyonce. And from the second to the, even 4 had got a sense of more almost a visual album too. She took it a step further here. She wanted to make sure that from releases after this, no one can say that she didn't give, you know, and that's what it was, where it was just like, for you understood, you know, the artistry in the sense of it being, you know, I want to be able to convey enough passion, enough sense of me where it comes to my roots and how I am as an artist, and even diving back to Dangerously in Love, where it's like, I'm here and I ain't going nowhere, okay? Like, you know, there was a, and there still is a Beyonce sense, whether it's this album and even the album that may come, where it's just, y'all better know me. and I love that with her. And yes, won a lot of awards, many awards for this. Yes, commercial performance, just did so well, did well, and it had impact. Beyonce is one of the 15 best performing 21st century albums without any of its singles being #1 hits on Billboard Hot 100. Ooh, as of 2022. It did not have a #1 song. And that's what bothered me too. Like, no, like, y'all tried it, because they like, there was so much, every song you could watch. Like, what do you mean you didn't, no one wanted to give this a #1? I mean, yes, #1 album, so that, you know, yes, cohesively, it's better to have the album be #1 than just songs. But songs can be #1 too, because you show that you love the song. It's favorable, you know, why not? But, you know, in the long run, yes, album, you'd rather have an album be #1, yes. But, yes, let's go into the track list. Track 1 is Pretty Hurts, okay? She was upset, letting us know, like, listen, I'm not perfect. And no one has to be perfect. We can be imperfect together. Why not, okay? Track 2, Haunted, contains hidden track Ghost. So yes, Ghost starts, and we get into Haunted right after, and, you know, it's 6 minutes long, you know, 2 tracks in one. It was something that we didn't really get like that from Beyonce, you know, it was something new. And I told y'all that. She said, I want something new. She said, I wanted something new. Like, seriously. Track 3, Drunken Love, featuring Jay-Z, okay? Track 4, Blow. And that's the thing, you know, every song is hitting. Like, Drunken Love, she was singing down. Like I said, track 4 is Blow, which is she's singing down to. Like, every song and track, she's singing down. No Angel, track 5. Track 6, Partition, contains hidden track Beyoncé. So Beyoncé starts the track, okay? Because she's alter ego. You know, there's another side of her that we're learning, you know, Beyoncé. Okay? And Partition comes right after, and, you know, these 2 songs go together because it's like, listen, I'm that bitch. Okay, that was her way of letting you know, in a classy way of saying Beyoncé, like, you know, you can't fuck with me. And Partition is letting us know in such a way that I'm grown. I do what I want with my husband in my private time. I can tell y'all, but I ain't gonna tell y'all. But I'm gonna tell y'all that it ain't something that y'all don't need to not really know, because it ain't y'all business. But I'm gonna tell y'all this: I'm a woman and I can do what I want. And I know that's right. And then there's track 7, Jealous. And yes, before I even finish off from jealous and going back into partition, yeah, she just wanted to make sure y'all know, like, I am a woman and I have my needs. Yes. And yes, for track 7, that's pretty much in that sense where it makes sense for jealous, where it's just like, where are you at? What you doing? Why is this going on? Why are you not here? Why am I not being pleased? Why are we not doing what we want to do? Why are we not doing what we need to do? What's going on? It's just that simple. Why does everybody get to have you and I don't? And yes, it was a good song at the time. If you're keeping your promise and keep in mind, okay? And then track 8, Rocket. That's a great song. She sang down on that song and really let us know what it feels like to be in love and married. Okay. And track 9, Mine, featuring Drake. It all I'm really asking for is you. You're mine, you're mine. You just great song. And it was a time. You had to be there. You had to be there, and we really had an earlier sense of Apple and Spotify, and it was really just a sense of just listening to the music and download. It was just more simple. Not that it isn't now. Of course, we just streaming more, and we buy, but definitely was a little bit more simpler then. Track 10, XO. Track 11, Flawless. So XO, that was her really happy song, and that was her ode to her fans, where she wanted us to know, I'm here, I love y'all, and I will continue to be here, and this will be our song together. This is and in the visual for this song, she's having fun with fans. She's out with fans. She's dancing with fans, and in New York and Coney Island, like just enjoying her time. And we didn't even know this was all happening. This is all 2013 in the summer. Like, this is all certain things that, like, we would hear. Beyonce's doing this. Beyonce's doing this, and we wouldn't know for certain whether that she was just filming for a commercial or she was actually doing a video. But certain parts of the song you can see that she's singing, but then there's certain parts, she's just having a great time, and it's just, it was great. It was great. And as far as with Flawless, it gives a real darker sense of letting people know, like, women are important. And women do just as much as men, and respect it. And we flawless. I woke up like this. Say I look so good tonight. Yes, period. And then track 12, which Superpower. This, similar to when we talk about Lemonade, where she kind of dives in a little bit more on just wanting justice and wanting things to be better in the world. And do y'all got me? You can't. They'll slow us down, but no, we can't let it. No, we can't let it break. But yes, track 13, Heaven, and track 14, Blue, featuring Blue Ivy. So with Heaven, she wanted to make a song that was for a reminiscent, memorable, more of a salute, treasurable song, if you will, where she's like wanting the world to know, like, we all grieve and we all lose things, people, and it's okay. And we will miss those that we lost, and we will be able to, of course, persevere through the time, but we won't forget them. We will be able to remember them in such a way. And yeah, heaven couldn't wait for you, so go home. That's a very much best way to say it and put it for that song. And she did it in a very much peaceful way. because you gotta live your life. You do. And as far as with Blue, yes, track 14 featuring Blue Ivy. This was, her first song that she didn't even know she was a part of. Like, I'm in a song. Like, yeah, you have your own song with me. Yeah, and she's in Blue soon after did more songs with her mother and Beyoncé, and it's just, it was great to close the album with this song where people were understanding from everything they was able to take in. Like, she's a mom, and no, really, she's a mom, like 3 kids. This is just the start, like I said, but again, she wanted us to just know, like, she will be back, and it will be from her lips, and on her time, okay, period. And yes, for the visuals, all the tracks that I just mentioned all had videos, including Grown Women. So she released Grown Women as a bonus video, but it wasn't on the album. But in recent times, as of this year, you can be able to stream and watch and buy the album as a single. So it was meant to be a single, but it wasn't a single because she did not want us to know there was a surprise album. But it is now considered, and was considered, a digital single. But yes, Platinum Edition, there's 7-Eleven. So yeah, 7-Eleven, she's wanting us to know, like, yes, I'm in my 30s, but I can still have a fucking good time. I'm still fun. I'm still gonna be fun. I can do what I want, okay? Take that for what you say. Take that really for what it really is. And then track 2, Flawless Remix featuring Nicki Minaj. So there were things that she wanted to get off her chest for the remix. And I think that was good, that she wanted to just let people know, like, ain't nothing stopping me. There's drama going on, and yes, you got to see something, but I'm still making money, and I'm still doing what I do best. Sing and be a great artist and performer, okay? And yes, track 3, Drunken Love Remix with Jay-Z and Kanye. So, she wanted to make sure with the Platinum Edition, there'd be an inclusive sense of there's a little bit more people that she worked with. Because Ring Off is track 4, which she wanted to be able to let people know it's okay to move on in relationships. You don't gotta stay in them. You can do what you want, whether it's a marriage, relationship, you can be happy. And more or less in the sense of seeing that with and for her mom, which I respect, Everybody doesn't always have to be married, and, whether you do be married again or not, live your life. And then track 5, Blow, which is the remix for, with Pharrell. And that was a great song too. Standing on the Sun remix featuring Mr. Vegas. Now, we didn't really get a video for that, but at the same time, it just, great song, and it kind of makes the album inclusive too, because we had got different blends of different sounds and emotions, so more fun songs were on the Platinum Edition. Songs to add on, I should say, too. But yes. Oh wow, Michelle. So wait a minute. I see something, guys, that you guys wouldn't know. I have to, that people may have not really looked at. Okay, so I want y'all to know that Destiny's Child was in the mix. Okay? Destiny's Child was in the mix of Self-Titled on track 12. And what's that song? Let's go look. Superpower. So we had a whole Destiny's Child song that Kelly and Michelle are in the background vocals. You don't really hear them much. You may hear them, but they in there. And yeah, something new to know. I didn't really know they were in the song. I didn't know I didn't even know they were in the song. So it's a Beyonce song, but with Michelle and Kelly in there, it gives an illusion, or it alludes, I should say. It alludes, because no, it's not even an illusion. They're on the song. Sorry, but it alludes to a Destiny's Child track with them on it. And I feel like that was a cute Easter egg surprise us fans probably wasn't even expecting, and probably wouldn't even know still to this day, because we're just listening to it like, oh my god, superpower, but it's like, no, Destiny's Child is kind of in here. You know. But yes, that is all the that's all the songs that are in the track list, I should say. And great album. And you know, the visuals, they really stood out. They truly stood out, every single one. And I want to say I thank you so much for listening and watching, and we will talk about more, and I'll be back.